Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package for today. I'm your presenter, Alian Christopher. Here's a look at the headlines for today. Dominica's main paint company donates over $500,000 worth of paint to the government of Dominica. Venezuelan ambassador stands firm with Dominica. And North Korea willing to talk to the US about giving up nuclear weapons. Stay tuned for these and other stories right here on CBN4.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live a full life with HIV. Talk to your doctor. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB, HIV. Encourage everyone to get tested.
And welcome back. One man from the community of Salisbury has been pronounced dead while another man is in police custody. It was reported to the police that about 10 p.m. on March 3rd, 2018, Lloyd Casimir suffered injuries to the head and other parts of his body alleged to have been inflicted by another man. The lifeless body of Lloyd Casimir was discovered at Upper Salisbury at about 7:50 a.m. on March 4th. Casimir was officially pronounced dead by a medical doctor, and a coroner's inquest will be convened as investigations continue. One man has since been arrested on suspicion of murder while investigations continue. Meantime, two men from Saint-Sauveur are reported missing. The Dominica Police Force has confirmed a search for the two missing men. It was reported to the police that 44-year-old Steve Toussaint and 47-year-old Jeffrey Gist, both of Saint-Sauveur, left the Saint-Sauveur community for Marigot at about 6 p.m. on the 5th of February 2018. The two traveled on a small fishing boat powered by a small 15-horsepower outboard motor. The two men have not been seen since. The police is asking anyone with information on either the homicide at Salisbury or the two missing men to contact the Criminal Investigations Department. Call the Crime Stoppers Dominica at telephone number 1-800-8477. And the government of Dominica has announced the commencement of a special program to create employment for persons displaced from Hurricane Maria. Speaking at a handing-over ceremony in Maho, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said the government of Dominica has decided to create 1,200 jobs for the many persons who lost their jobs after the hurricane.
This is the worst time for any one of us to lose our jobs. If your house smash up, no money is to build a home, you have a mortgage to pay, children in school, you may be caring for your elderly parents, and now here comes Maria and your job has gone away. And so the government felt that it needed to assist in maintaining people's dignity and people's sanity. And we have started the process as we promised. The application process commenced on the 1st of March 2018. And I want to say to you, those of you who have lost their jobs, avail yourself of the application process, because we intend to get you on board as quickly as possible so that you can start getting your paycheck. You can get your paycheck and take care of your family with dignity and pride.
The program is transitional in nature and will be operated for a period of 6 months in the first instance. The program is also expected to explore all possible job opportunities with the public and private sector, including opportunities within the firms and agencies that may have made people redundant purely based on inability to pay. Focus will also be placed on job openings as a result of the recovery effort, new investments or expansion of existing businesses. The administrative framework for the program has been put in place, and in that regard, affected persons are invited to register on the first floor of the financial center in Roseau. Registration forms are available and persons are expected to provide details of their redundancies or evidence of their displacement. Staff will be available to assist and to obtain additional information from persons where necessary. The office hours are 8:30 to 4:30 on Monday and 8:30 to 3:30 on Tuesday to Friday. Venezuelan ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Hayden Pirela, says he believes that Dominica is going to recover to normalcy. He said the government and the people of Venezuela will continue working with clear building of Dominica together with the Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
Yes, I think that everybody after the hurricane has challenger. It's important now we are developing any project for Dominica. There are a family in Gran Beda, they lost their roof in the Petrocasa, and I believe that we are going to bring a boat with the new roof for repairing that house. Another thing, we're here. I think that in the next date we are going to get resources to help to the Prime Minister to repair the route on the way, and to give solidarity with the Dominican people.
Pirela also noted that it's a pity Dominica suffered widespread devastation from Hurricane Maria, which struck on September 18, 2017. He indicated that post-Hurricane Maria, Venezuela sent humanitarian aid to the country. He also noted that helicopters and doctors were sent along with other people to assist in the recovery of Dominica. And stay tuned, we'll be back with more news right after the break.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself.
And welcome back to CBN4's Primetime News Package. The technical officer responsible for agricultural extension here in Dominica, Felix Leslie, indicated that the production of cassava is relatively vital. Leslie said that even before Maria, there were discussions held with the Food and Agriculture Organization about increasing Dominica's cassava production. Leslie laments that in this post-Maria era, discussions are centered even more on strengthening the industry.
It is a traditional crop, particularly in the Kalinago territory, but other areas in Dominica. So it basically is to understand what has happened and to put in place mechanisms so that our farmers can come on board and participate. And one of the strong points, as we know, cassava in terms of resilience can be a resilient crop in that you can grow the crop and process the crop and store it. So in terms of food security, it is very high on the agenda. So through the region, the crop has been grown. You have the experience of St. Lucia, Suriname, and some other places. But Dominica, as you know, is an area, a traditional growing country. And so we think in the whole crop development base, cassava must be given attention.
It further stated that the devastating effects of Hurricane Maria affected all segments of the agricultural industry, and that includes the cassava fields. It is for that reason that workshops are being held to see how best to improve the production of cassava, examine the different parameters, and mitigate the loss.
Certain things, issues like planting material, the introduction of other varieties, yes? If we have to bring in planting material from some other countries, yes, we must take into consideration the phytosanitary issues, relating to that, but that is a consideration on the agenda to ensure that our farmers, can get back into the production system and produce cassava to make some money, you see, but more so to provide food for the family.
The technical officer also says that to revitalize cassava production, stakeholders must make their contribution towards this subject. And Prime Minister of Dominica, Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, has commended the efforts of Parliamentary Representative for the Mahu constituency, Honorable Rayburn Blackmore. Skerrit described Blackmore as the most organized one we can find in Dominica. Blackmore has gone the extra mile in working with his constituents since the passage of Hurricane Maria. The Prime Minister said that the Honorable Minister has marshaled the contractors in his constituency to get the estimates for the first phase of a housing roof replacement project.
He had all the forms, all the application forms by his constituents, well bounded and so forth, bind it together with all of the estimates, the invoices, and every hamlet broken down by names and amounts and so forth. And I think you can say what you want about Rayburn Blackmore, but I think nobody can question the fact that he cares about the people who he represents. So even when I hear some people criticize him, I ask, but isn't he a good caller? Isn't he representing your interests? Isn't he able to bring things and improvements to Mahu constituency? Because if you compare where this Mahu constituency was when Blackmore came into office and where it was on the 18th of September, a huge amount of progress was made in this constituency. Just recently, he was able to negotiate for the setting up of the Bailey Bridge in River Estate, where many citizens couldn't get to their homes. They had to drive through the river or walk through the river to get to the homes. And he persevered with his representation, and he was able to make that Bailey Bridge a priority, and we were able to put this bridge in quick time. So let us recognize his commitment.
Skerrit had earlier said that Blackmore initially made a request for $8.1 million for the Mahu constituency, and that amount has already been approved with the handing over of a $2 million check to the Mahu Village Council for the first phase of the roof replacement project. And also in the news, Harris Paints has donated 2 40-foot containers to the tune of $600,000 $600,000 worth of paints to the government of Dominica. Chief Executive Officer of Harris Paints International, Ian Keon, said that while his company recognizes the importance of making a profit, they have also from day one made a commitment to give back to the community. He said it is easy to make contributions when everything is going well, but much harder to do so when things are rough and the company's back is against the walls.
Gone through it, so we know we can talk with feeling and passion about the impact it had on the lives of people in Dominica. So that is kind of why we reached out to the community, the paint community around the world. We are members of a thing called the Guild, which is a buying community. And there's 77 paint companies around North America and Europe and Latin America that we're members of. And I went to them and asked them for their help, because the thing about the paint industry, it is a very tight-knit community, and we do try and help each other in times of need. And I made the case for Dominica to that community of 77 paint companies, and they stepped up. They stepped up in terms of supplying 160 pallets worth of paint that we supplied already. That alone was worth about 600,000 EC dollars. But then another company from just outside of New York stepped up and said, we want to donate some paint as well. And it wasn't just some paint, it was the 2 container loads of paint.
Minister for Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, Honorable Reginald Austrie, hailed the donation by Harris Paints a timely gesture.
But today, like I say, is special for me to see that one of our own, Harris Paint, is in fact coming on board to assist the government in its quest to reduce some of those houses. One may ask, well, it's not galvanized, it's not plywood, it's not post, but it's paint. So what's the big deal? Well, we boast of wanting to do a more resilient, build a more resilient country. And you'll understand that with the application of paint, whether it's on concrete or on wood, it does in fact expand the life of any building. Wood, as you know, subject to the elements. The paint would help in protecting it, and concrete, the same thing goes. And also increasing the aesthetics of the building. And so, Mr. Keon, I want to say to you that this gesture is very, very timely and will be put to good use.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit received the token of the $600,000 contribution to the Dominica government. He also said that this donation is a continuation of excellent corporate relationship between Harris Paints and the government. Le Express des Îles has announced that it is cancelling its services to Dominica due to heavy sea swells. Calls to Roseau were cancelled for Tuesday, March 6th and Wednesday, March 7th. The Dominica Meteorological Service issued a high surf advisory and a small craft warning, which will remain in effect until Wednesday, March 7th.
As a result of this coastal sea swells that have been affecting Dominica and the neighboring islands over the past couple of days, and is expected to worsen from reports that we received from the Met Office and even from our principals in Guadeloupe, who has been following this phenomenon for the past couple of days. Le Express des Îles has decided to cancel the calls into Dominica today, Tuesday, 6th of March, and tomorrow, Wednesday, 7th of March. Pending these sea conditions, Le Express des Îles service should resume on Thursday, March 8th, heading southbound from Guadeloupe to Dominica, Martinique and St. Lucia. And then we will proceed with our normal schedule from there. So that would mean persons going to Guadeloupe would have to leave on Friday at 11:30, and persons going on to Martinique or St. Lucia will, pending the sea conditions, will resume on Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m. and then again on Friday morning at 10:30 a.m.
The high surf is caused by a low pressure system which is currently affecting the Caribbean and expected to remain in effect until Wednesday. And stay tuned, we'll be back with more after the break.
persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol, and drug users